The Victorian government, they're at it again. They want to confiscate people's superannuation. We're going to dive straight into what I saw on X just a couple of hours ago. This was posted by Rob Smith. Disgraced Premier Jacinta Allan, human rights abuser Dan Andrews, emptied the coffers, bankrupted the state, and they're now eyeing your superannuation. They'll blow it all and they'll leave you with a negative balance. Fear not, Andrew. He's now a pensioner, taking home $350K per year for life. Not something I voted for. But this is what I said. You can tell them to F off, and they'll still try this S anyway. It's just too tempting, this big bucket of money sitting there. So the best option, in my opinion, is to take it out of their control. Set up a self-managed super fund. I'll show you how you can do that. Super simple. For me, I believe in Bitcoin, freedom money. And the reason being is with superannuation, if your retirement funds are sitting in an industry super fund, it can be invested in things that you have absolutely no control or no say over. So for me, that's things like solar, wind, this net zero, that's not environmental. I love the environment, but that's just pushing up energy prices. They're full of asbestos. Solar panels get hit in a hailstorm. They end up in landfill. Military industrial complex, big pharma, etc. But when you set up a self-managed super fund, you get that rollover, you get cash, and then you just buy Bitcoin and you put that in self-custody. It's pretty cool. And it stops them being able to get their grubby little mitts on it. But for a little bit more context here, and this is why we Bitcoin. Jacinta Allen wants to tap super for next wave of government projects because they're so broke. They cannot manage their own budget. They're the brokest state in the country, one of the brokest places in the world, really. And they think they're going to be able to manage this. They just see $4.3 trillion there. And now they're saying it needs to play a greater role in funding hospitals, schools, and other critical infrastructure. What about all this money that comes from the federal government? Why can't they use that? What about all the tax receipts that they get? What about the endless wealth tax they put on, spare bedroom tax, land tax, payroll, employee tax? They can't manage their budget, but they see $4.3 trillion and they're going to come for it. Fuck them. I've had enough of it. That's why I've opted out of this broken money system. Anyway, they're saying funds have an obligation to invest their members' savings into projects that support workers. The Australian economy, it's propped up by the housing crisis and mass immigration. It's a full Ponzi. I don't even blame the super funds for not wanting to invest in this country at the moment. When we've got people like Jacinta or Dan Andrews, what he did during COVID, are you surprised that we got here, that they want to take more money? You know, they wanted this unrealized capital gains tax on super balances over $3 million. They're not going to stop coming for superannuation. It's just way too tempting for them. The industry has been under pressure from federal and state governments in recent years to invest in national building projects. Treasurer Jim Chalmers, is a prick, is considering adjusting the superannuation fund financial performance test to remove barriers for long-term investments in housing and clean energy. Oh, push houses up even more. But in an interview with the Australian Financial Review, Allen said her government was willing to work with more private investors on public infrastructure projects, but added that Australia needed to do more to unlock the trillions of dollars in superannuation. Now, pay close attention to these three words coming right up. How do you take that model, whether it's a PPP, the public-private partnership model, or other adaptations, joint venture partnerships, for example? Public-private partnership. When did we hear a lot about that? Oh, when? During COVID. Yes, that's right. And a lot of that rhetoric wording comes from the World Economic Forum. Just read The Great Reset by Klaus Schwab. He was ousted. He was the head honcho there. I think something, sexual deviancy, of course, with these sick, evil fuckers trying to control the world population, but it never works out good. Public-private partnerships, anyway, where you can bring more private sector investment and to partner with the stability of the government. They don't stop the gaslighting. This government's broke. There is no stability. And its balance sheet, a fucking negative balance sheet. If they're a small business, if they're an individual, they would be in bankruptcy court. To invest in productive infrastructure into the future. Maybe we could just tax our minerals instead of just shipping them all overseas for free. Oh, look at their debt. Hit 194 billion as expected to. They just are not going to be able to cut it down. So they're going to keep coming for it over and over and over and over again. A couple of weeks ago, I had Simon from Gday Super Fund come on, self-managed super fund, who I've partnered with on this channel. He helps people, especially with Bitcoin. He understands crypto as well. I'll bring it up here to set up a self-managed super fund. Super easy. It's very affordable. You know, if you've got, you don't need much in your super, especially if you invest into Bitcoin. Obviously not financial advice, but to outperform the markets really quickly, Gday can help you stay compliant, which is the biggest thing come the end of the financial year, is to make sure you've dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's. It's set up right at the start so that you're compliant the whole way through. One thing that I like about a self-managed super fund, if you're new to Bitcoin, you need to learn how to protect your Bitcoin. You can use things like your self-managed super fund to be able to get mentoring or training to be able to protect that retirement's wealth. So obviously I've partnered with the Bitcoin Way as well, long time sponsors, greatest people in the world in my opinion. But it's no out of pocket if you're using it to protect your self-managed super fund as well. So you can pair those two together. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard it all before, but they'll never touch your keys, your coins. They're literally just the best people in the world to be able to impart and gift you that knowledge. Now, the best part, the first 30 minutes is free. And same when you talk to Gday Super Fund, self-managed super fund, that's free as well. And you don't need to use any of these. I just wanted to find somebody to help protect your Bitcoin, a way to be able to get even more Bitcoin, easy ways to be able to buy it. So I've partnered with AmberApp as well. Bitcoin only exchange, partnered, and they've partnered with Gday Super Fund. And obviously AmberApp has also partnered with the Bitcoin Way as well. I've connected all these people together because they are the best people, in my opinion, to be able to make that journey super easy. They're very knowledgeable. For example, if you're like setting up a Bitcoin account, you can just get on the phone with Paul. He'll guide you through it. I helped a 65-year-old lady at a cafe 3 or 4 weeks ago go through it in about 5 minutes. It was incredible. But the self-managed super funds, just a superannuation in general, like for a little bit of context, it's retirement funds. Like it's money, you can't use it to enrich your day-to-day now unless you're obviously at retirement age, preservation age, which I'm nowhere near. But by rolling it from an industry super into a self-managed super fund, that money gets deposited into a self-managed super fund bank account. Then you create an account, say on AmberApp. Once you set that up and then you link that bank account to your AmberApp exchange account, you send the money over, the money arrives or the fiat currency arrives, you buy Bitcoin, you can then through the AmberApp connect with the Bitcoin Way if you need help to be able to get it into self-custody for the mentoring. Otherwise, you just move it to self-custody and you're good. It's there, it's generational wealth. Now, it's not going to... It's not like they don't know about it. It's KYC Bitcoin. Clearly they do. But by taking it in self-custody, makes it a little bit harder for them just to be able to dip in and have their eyes on it. Like with this $4.3 trillion just sitting there that Jacinta Allen wants to and pillage. That was a bad word to use. I take it back. The R word, that can be used in more serious situations than this, but definitely wants to pillage the coffers. They're not going to take their eyes off it. They're not going to stop. We can make it a little bit more difficult, but also the other reason to invest in Bitcoin, like industry super funds done maybe like 18% best year over the last 10 years, give or take. Bitcoin on average does about 45 to 55% compounded year in, year out. Now, this year's been pretty much 100% sideways, but years before and where we're going, that's how it evens out. So it could be 0 for a year and then 110 the next year. And that's how it levels out. But you do have options. I think the worst option is just to sit there and think, oh, that's never going to happen. No, they're not going to do that. Clearly, they are. They can't stop. They're broke. That situation's not going to change anytime soon. And the broker they get, the more and more desperate they're going to get. So just tell them, fuck them. I opt out. I'm going to self-managed super fund. Going to buy Bitcoin. Put it in self-custody. Play your stupid games and fuck around. I'm not interested anymore with it. Anyway, just a quick PSA. These people are crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like even this. Super funds invest in airports, energy transmission, toll roads, mobile phone towers to deliver steady long-term returns to members, but they are often reluctant to invest in new or greenfield developments because of the risks of delays in approvals, cost blowouts, and opposition from activist groups. The amount of red tape in this country now, I was talking to Scotty Chell this morning, and we dove right into it. But the amount of red tape to be able to get approvals now in this country to build anything is up at least 10x over the last couple of years. It's crazy. It's not going to get any better. So I think now's the time where we just opt out and get out of Dodge. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I have been doing for the last at least 5 years. Now, it's one of the greatest life-changing decisions I ever made for my net worth. Studying Bitcoin and putting in the proof of work and reading books like The Big Print by Lawrence Lepard or Parallel by Brian D. Mint is really what changed my life, because I have access to that now while I'm young. But anyway, I don't spend my Bitcoin. I just keep stacking sats. Please do something nice for yourself today, for somebody else out there. Don't let the grubs get your retirement savings. They will waste it, and it won't be there when you need it the most. Bitcoin self-custody is the best solution in my opinion, but talk to someone. You can talk to Simon or Alex from Udo Super Fun. Call's free. You can talk to Tony, the Bitcoin Way. First 30 minutes is free as well, or Izzy, Paul, Ambrat, whatever, whoever. I guess the point is just go out and seek more information, because there's so many possibilities out there. Anyway, take it out of their hands, get it into your hands, not your keys, not your coins. Peace.